association with the National Hockey League and the National Hockey League Players Association.
Well, Canada, here we go again. Another night of watching the best hockey players in the world.
Good evening, everyone. Could you ask for anything more?
Just a beautiful autumn night in Toronto, the World Cup of Hockey on Sportsnet and, of course, on the CBC as we continue our coverage at Air Canada Centre with Russia-Canada semifinal number 1. And here is Donald S.
I tell you one thing, I hate these one games. I wish it was 2 out of 3, you got a chance. One game, it's sort of fair and everything, but I'll tell you one thing, we've been on cruise the whole time. Now, their team does not bother me. Man for man does not bother me. We got more skill than them for sure. But Bobrovsky bothers me all the time. One game like that, he can steal. Of course, we got a pretty good guy in our end too. Their power play is due. They've scored no goals. I'll tell you one thing, we got to watch the dummy penalties. Rutsalaning has got 2 goals, 2 game winners, so he's the guy, he's their trigger man.
Doesn't look like Carey Price ever feels pressured on, but 289 days without a start and then just 2 games. And you're right, Bobrovsky's on a roll. When the Russians won the first game in '87, it was their defense. Fedosov snuck in and scored a beauty.
Yeah.
Kazatonov threw a big hit on Gretzky in the corner, set up the first goal. Gusarov scored. That might be the only threat. If they can prove out he can do it, Brent Burns can do it.
Well, we've got the defense that can do that. They jump in the play. Their defense this year does not jump in. They are not a threat to jump in like that. But let me tell you, Rutsalainen, 2 game winners. Watch the dummy penalties. We will, and we will tonight.
When I was a little boy, Don, I was sort of brainwashed to disapprove of the Soviets. But I kind of like the cosmonauts, and I kind of like the hockey players, and I really like the anthem. That song, if anybody could come up with a song that beautiful, how could it be bad? And when you hear
it's better than theirs, what are you talking about?
And that's the point. When you hear the 2 of them, you know you're in for a good hockey game. Hal Murdoch's the public address announcer, Jim Houston, Scott Oak, Craig Simpson standing by to describe the action. Enjoy.
At forward, number 41, Nikolai Kulemin. And at forward, number 71, Evgeny Malkin. And now, the starting lineup for Team Canada, coached by Mike Babcock. In goal, number 31, Carey Price. On defense, number 6, Shea Weber. On defense, number 44, Marc-Edouard Vlasic. At forward, number 16, Jonathan Toews. forward, number 24, Corey Perry. And at forward, number 39, Logan Couture. In celebration of the World Cup of Hockey and in the spirit of international competition, the teams will now exchange a commemorative banner. We now ask Alexander Ovechkin, captain of Team Russia, and Sidney Crosby, captain of Team Canada, to join Kocha and Owen for tonight's gift exchange ceremony at center ice. Good luck to both teams. And now, fans, please stand if you're able to and remove your hats for the playing of the national anthems of Russia and Canada.
At the Air Canada Centre in downtown Toronto, it's the classic rivalry, Russia-Canada, for a berth in the 2016 World Cup final. Canada's on an international roll, winners of 13 straight, including a 7-3 beating of Russia in the quarterfinals of the Vancouver Olympics, which the Russians have not forgotten. This is the first time these teams have met in the best-on-best tournament since, and earlier this week, Ilya Bryzgalov, the backup goaltender for Team Russia in Vancouver, was saying he recalls the Canadians starting the game like gorillas let out of a cage. We'll see if there's a gorilla-like start to this game. No Pavel Datsyuk for the Russians, and they're going with 7 defensemen. Here's Jim Houston with Craig Simpson.
Thank you, Scott. 44 years since the Summit Series, the series that introduced us to this rivalry, and it's still something extra special when Canada plays Russia. 28-year-old Sergei Bobrovsky has played in all 3 games in the tournament. He's 14-4 in his last 18 international games for Russia. And 29-year-old Carey Price from the Williams Lake Minor Hockey Association has now won 13 straight games in a Team Canada sweater dating back to the '07 World Junior Championship. Russia, Canada, Saturday night.
Home ice. This is livid. Russian coach has been much discussed and criticized for his use of his top players or not using them enough. Change here tonight. Evgeny Malkin and Alex Ovechkin on the same line to start the game in 7 defensemen dress. Maybe he's going to get down to 3 lines early on. Dmitry Orlov is back for the puck. This is the top Russian defensive pair. His partner is Nikita Zaitsev as Ovechkin tries to clear the puck against Jonathan Toews line with Logan Couture and Corey Perry, who just overskated the puck. Shea Weber and Mark-Edward Vlasic, the defenseman. Montreal's Vlasic steps up and dumps the puck in from center ice. Evgeny Kuznetsov, number 92, left the puck for Zaitsev. The Russians are changing. The Canadians are as well. Sidney Crosby's on the ice. Alexei Evelyn to Artemi Panarin. He couldn't knock the puck out of the air. And the players stopped on an icing call against the Russians.
Jim, you mentioned the Russian coach changing things up. Well, it's interesting to note, Alex Ovechkin, in my opinion, here is supposed to change. Because look at the bench there. Panarin has his foot over the bench. And much like North American play, where you, okay, start with this lineup, but we're going to change right away. Well, it was 32 seconds before Ovechkin finally came to the bench, and Panarin had his foot over it the whole time.
No icing on this play. Yes, there is. An icing call back-to-back against the Russians, 50 seconds in.
Well, you see for Mike Babcock, you have Jonathan Toews going up against what looked like the top line right off the bat, and much like getting off to a great start in such an important game, you come right back with the firepower, and much will be talked about in this game about what matchup Mike, being on home ice, will want.
Right now it's Crosby for the home team up against Evgeny Kuznetsov. A clean face-off win. Jay Bouwmeester's shot went off a skate and wide of the net. Dowdy's in after the puck. He ran into Panarin. Brad Marchand trying to center the puck, had it hit a skate, and Bouwmeester is back to get the puck. Kuznetsov forechecking, gets right after him. The pass comes to Marchand on this line with Crosby and Patrice Bergeron. They'll get to center and dump the puck in. And Sergei Bobrovsky scoops it up, and Canada can't get the pace of the game up early.
No, the one thing, though, they try, and you see this so often with Sidney Crosby. We saw it in the Stanley Cup Finals. Set play off a face-off. This one doesn't get through, though, to Brad Marchand, but you're going to have to focus in the draw to try to beat Crosby, and he snapped that one back perfectly early on here.
Artem Anisimov is the best Russian center iceman. Getzlaf is a good one. He won the draw. Brent Burns' shot was knocked down. And the Russians try to get up to center. Had a chance for a 2-on-1 there. Nemesnikov and Kucherov. Back for the puck. Puck is Alexei Marchenko. Young Red Wing defenseman. Here's Artem Anisimov. Nemesnikov is with him. Kucherov in front. Takes the pass and the shot. Carey Price makes his first save. Alex Pietrangelo up the boards. John Tavares from Oakville on a line with Steven Stamkos from Unionville. And the centerman is Ryan Getzlaf from Regina. And the puck is loose, and Getzlaf is back to get it. Pietrangelo. Long pass up the middle. Joe Thornton tipped the puck out of the air. Matt Duchene in after it. Ryan O'Reilly's on this forward line as well. So all of the 4 lines have played now. Dadonov is back for the puck. Ivan Telegan with him. Double shifting here is Evgeny Malkin. Again, they've got 7 defensemen dressed. Shipachev and Datsuk unable to play tonight. And the Russians move the puck through center. It bounces, and Vlasic is back after it. Malkin is right after him. Left in the corner. Dadonov with a centering pass. Thrown back to the blue line. Nikita Zaitsev with a shot off a couple of sticks. And Matt Duchene gets the puck, and the Canadians are out to center. They're about to change, so Duchene dumps the puck in. And Bobrovsky will play it for Dmitry Orlov. This is the defensive pair that plays the most. And if there's an Achilles heel on the Russian team, it is probably their defense. Bouwmeester back for the puck. Drew Doughty takes it, and he steps up and goes for Canada to center. Toews knocked off stride, and because of that, Corey Perry was just offside.
You get a real sense of urgency for who's going to get the first goal, who's going to draw first blood. Well, you guys have talked about Carey Price and his ability to settle everybody into the game. A little bit of a turnover, good quick opportunity, but calm, cool once again was Carey Price. And Jim, you mentioned off the stop, just an incredible record going back to the World Juniors, and hard to lose games when you're only giving up 1 goal. Just 12 goals in those 13 games given up by that man.
Crosby's line is on the ice. Here's Marchand centering. Sidney Crosby had the puck poked away from him by Kuznetsov, who might have saved the goal. Certainly saved a great chance. Bergeron throws one at the net. The rebound off Bobrovsky, and Crosby's knocked down. Fans call a penalty. The referees don't. Wes McCauley and Kelly Sutherland are the NHL referees, both Canadians, calling the game tonight.
Did you notice when Kulikov got up there, he just took a peek around. He wasn't sure if an arm was going to go up or not.
Here's Jonathan Toews, spins, deals the puck to the inboards. Corey Perry was in front. Did he see the puck went in behind the net? Pinching is Vlasic, backed up by Logan Couture, and he holds the puck in on the boards. Jonathan Toews trying to get by Alexei Yemelin, threw the puck towards the net. Marchenko, long pass to Artem Anisimov at center, stick handled into a crowd, then dumped the puck in. Nikolai Kulemin in, through the hit there at Shea Weber, and the puck is jarred loose. The Canadians, however, get it. Perry sent the puck down the ice, and now he'll have to stay on the ice because Canada has iced the puck.
Well, we saw a good scoring chance early on by the Russians to follow right up, a dump in with a little bit of a purpose. Good job on the boards by Brad Marchand. One chance for Crosby that Kuznetsov read extremely well, but an excellent job in the corner. Battle hard on Kulikov, and there Kulikov, as he said when he got up, thought maybe there'd be a penalty, but there wasn't.
Russians win the draw. There's the shot just wide of the net, and the puck bounced out front. Andrei Markov took the shot. Toews has had the best face-off percentage in this tournament. Malkin has really struggled, but he won that one. Nikita Zaitsev, future Toronto Maple Leaf, advanced the puck. It's over the glass and out of play.
I see the jawing going back. Such a different rivalry than you go back, obviously, to 72 and even 87, the most recent one. And three of these Russian players are the only three that aren't playing in the National Hockey League. So there's all kinds of familiarity between these combatants, unlike those days past.
Tavares on his strong side on a line of three centers comes in to take the draw, and he won it cleanly. Pietrangelo along the inboards. Canada has generated a lot of its offense in this tournament. The Russians get the puck and they're quickly out to center. Nikita Kucherov stops up, tried to feed the point and wanted to send that puck across the ice, and it was deflected out to center. Ryan Getzlaf stripped to the puck. Kucherov moves in, he shoots, Price the save, rebound, gobbled up by Getzlaf. Right up the middle, John Tavares. Steven Stamkos is with him. The shot's directed wide by Kulikov. Stamkos has been all around the net, just can't buy a goal. They could use him to get hot here tonight. Here's Dadonov, off the wing, threw the puck in front, knocked wide by Teligan, who went straight to the net. And there's a hooking call coming on the play, so the first penalty of the game will go against Jay Bouwmeester of Canada, and the Russians' power play, for the tournament, gets a chance to work.
And it's been the Russians' transition that has caught them flat-footed a little bit. Is Getzlaf backed off a little bit, and you can see how hard Doughty had to work to get in position, and there in the middle of the ice, Jay Bouwmeester, a step late, has to get inside on Teligan, and he does a nice job of getting around the Canadian defender to draw the penalty.
Russian power play 0 for 8 in the tournament. Canada's penalty killing has been perfect, led by Jonathan Toews, Ryan Getzlaf. Logan Couture is on the ice with Toews right now. Artemi Panarin held the puck in. He and Malkin on the ice in this power play. Nikolai Kulemin to play the front of the net. Andrei Markov, the quarterback. The lone defender plays the puck to center. Kulemin tried to go rink wide, and that's deflected back down into the Russian zone.
In his interview with Scott, Alex Ovechkin said they had a few different wrinkles and ideas for the power play, and here early they haven't been able to get the setup to see if they do actually have a different look.
Already starting a change. Kucherov has come on for Kulemin. Chasing the puck through the neutral zone. Kuznetsov is on the ice now. A long shot down the ice. Brad Marchand made a nice turn, has the puck, delays and shoots. Bobrovsky with the save. And he plays the puck. And the penalty killers change up. A minute gone, and the penalty to Bouwmeester, and no setup for the Russian power play. Dmitry Orlov to center. Ovechkin on the fly. That was picked off. Here's Ryan O'Reilly, short-handed. Great job of killing time in the penalty. Orlov finally gets the puck. And O'Reilly hustles to the bench on another change, and Taves comes back on. Orlov. Kuznetsov missed on his pass to Kucherov, and that's an icing call with just 31 seconds left in the penalty.
Boy, you couldn't ask for a better start defensively anyways for the Canadian penalty killers. They're aggressive at the line, not allowing the Russians any easy entries, and there's Brad Marchand taking Markov inside, outside. You saw the hesitation for a split second. It was one of those plays where Bergeron was ready for a one-timer, but he couldn't find the passing lane.
Canada has won 7 of 8 draws, 7 of 9 now, as Kuznetsov won that one. And the power play slowly comes out of its own zone. Evgeny Kuznetsov of the Washington Capitals. Tarasenko stripped of the puck, and Taves clears it again. That'll just about do it in this penalty to Bouwmeester. Now at 5-on-5, Canada has to get the pace of this game up. I think all these whistles favor the Russians early on, don't they?
They really did. I think the attack and the urgency was not there right away for Canada, and the speed was pretty good for the Russians.
Ivan Telekin gets a hold of the puck. Winnipeg draft to the front of the net. Dadonov couldn't pull the trigger and get the shot away. And the Canadians back at 5-on-5, get to center. Bergeron dumps the puck in. In forechecking, Marchand couldn't come up with a puck. Telekin cuts into the middle of the ice and dropped the puck off for his defenseman Marchenko. Kulikov advances the puck. Weber stood up and took it back. And this will go down the ice, no icing on the play.
Only 4 Russians on the ice right now, and nobody's noticed.
A steal by Sidney Crosby. He shoots, he scores! Russians a man short and didn't have a penalty, and Sidney Crosby makes them pay 1-0 Canada.
Jim, the Russians are not used to having different line combinations, and look at the bodies. There's only 4 of them in there. An aggressive forecheck by Crosby, and count the numbers. There's only 2 Canadians in the offensive zone in Stamkos and Crosby, but they win the battle. We've got 2 guys at the Russian bench. One of them, Ovechkin, with his foot over the boards, but nobody jumps on. What a heads-up play, and a disastrous early mistake by the Russians.
Again, they've got 7 defensemen dressed, so they have unusual line combinations, and they're used to just rolling 4 lines. And maybe that's why they got caught. Well, Sidney Crosby has Canada's first goal.
You just saw the effort by Crosby, just getting in relentless on the forecheck and turning not once but twice the puck over.
On his edges, made a great move and buried the backhand. 1-0 at 7:40, an unassisted goal by Crosby, his 3rd of the tournament.
Well, it's just awareness there that Marchenko, there's no icing. You heard the call. Kulikov can't handle it. And how about Bobrovsky? For a split second, it looked like Crosby might try to go 5-hole. Bobrovsky went down and tried desperately to get over to his left, but excellent patience by the superstar center, Sidney Crosby.
Canada wins another draw. Steven Stamkos out to center, 1-on-3. He dumps the puck in after an icing call. Canada wants this change now. Shea Weber, Mark-Edward Vlasic. Puck is bouncing on him. Ovechkin on the forecheck. Did a flyby of Weber. Corey Perry at center. Jonathan Taves line out against the line that Ovechkin is playing on with Kuznetsov at center. Puck went right by the net, and it's another icing call, this time against the Russians.
Well, it'll be really interesting to watch, Jim. We came into this game wondering, okay, with Mike Babcock getting home ice, he's got the advantage. That's not a specialty of the Russians. Even Wes McCauley, there's a lot of talk between when the referee puts his arm up that you can't make the change. The Russians typically don't care. They put him on at the same time, and what a costly mistake here early on by a bench that's not accustomed to having to deal with that kind of thought.
And do you think the defenseman thought it was icing?
Well, the call-off was there, but Jim, it was about 5 seconds they were not ready before that. So I just think there was mass confusion up in the forwards who was going on.
Another icing against the Russians. 6-2 are the shots for Canada. Crosby has the goal.
You know, it's like any time, you got to play it out. And Marchenko hesitated. There was no question. But you can hear the fact that, did he get a piece of it? Yeah, you know what? Typically, if you miss it, was Crosby in alone. The call came quickly, but it was a casual play by both Marchenko and Kulikov, which ended up being costly.
Nikita Zaitsev off the face-off. Russians, Ovechkin turned the puck over once, and a second effort gets him out to center. Kuznetsov with the shooting. Carey Price to play the puck. Into the middle, a turnover. Here's Kuznetsov in front. He's tripped up. Brent Burns will take a penalty. He was whacking at the puck. Instead, he tripped Kuznetsov after a turnover, and it could be costly because the Russians are back on the power play. There's the penalty. 1-0 Canada at the World Cup of Hockey.
For gold, 9-0 in the 2015 World Championships, 3-0 here, all of which escaped Crosby's attention until he was asked about it yesterday, and he said, I didn't even know about it until you brought it up. But he's doing his best today to push the streak to 23, Jim.
There's a lot of winning streaks amongst these guys wearing the Canadian sweaters. They're on a penalty kill right now. They had an excellent penalty kill earlier. Russians barely got in and got set up, but they are right now. Malkin and Markov trying to play a little catch. Brad Marchand defending. Malkin drew the defender in, played the puck back. Markov, Panarin, Markov takes the shot. Price with a wonderful save, kicked out his left leg. No Ovechkin over there. That was the one-timer set up for Panarin. There's a new wrinkle.
That's the different wrinkle that Ovechkin was talking about, and he worked on it in warm-up, Jim, in a different spot than he usually does.
He's in front. Malkin trying to be too fine, just missed the net, and he sends Panarin after the puck. Markov will go back first.
Guys were talking in studio just about
save. Canada's had two really good looks shorthanded. And now the power play's trying to get in again. Artemi Panarin turned the puck over at the blue line, and Weber shot it down the ice, and the penalty killers changed quickly again. Dmitry Orlov. Alex Ovechkin. The shoot-in. He wanted Kuznetsov to get that, and he couldn't. The giveaway. And Ovechkin plays the puck around for Tarasenko. Into the middle. He'll get another chance. That was deflected away by Vlasic. Now up the boards. Getzlaf could be a 2-on-1 again. He's got Weber in front. Shea Weber stopped by Bobrovsky. Another terrific chance for Canada, shorthanded.
Well, credit Bobrovsky with keeping this a tight game as heads-up play. He got two good chances. It was Taves getting it over to Couture. He tried to go high on Bobrovsky there. Bobrovsky, excellent out high. And here, nice job of Getzlaf settling that puck down and getting it over. Weber tried to go 5-hole, Bobrovsky equal to the task. Saw the one goal that Canada has scored. Crosby faked the shot, forced Bobrovsky to go down, and then moved around him. Both those times, quick shots, and the Russian goaltender just stood his ground.
Kuznetsov won the draw. That allows Russia one last rush with the man advantage. And they turn the puck over at center again. Gonna go back to the old power play.
Yeah, I like the fact, though, the aggressiveness of the penalty killing of Canada, staying up at the line and no easy entry, attacked the puck and really frustrated them to start.
Burns is back on. Price makes the save with Teligan standing right there. So Canada has now killed 12 straight penalties in this tournament.
Well, here's Alexander Ovechkin in that new spot, and as I said, typically he's standing still, Jim, but usually it's on the outside. Canada does a nice job of just focusing on the outside in warm-up. He's usually at the opposite dot, and today, from Kuznetsov, practicing where he was going to be on the power play.
Well, they need him to get some of those shots. He's had but 5 on goal in the tournament, and he needs some tonight because 1-0 Sidney Crosby has given Canada the lead. With 8.5 minutes to go in the first period, Brent Burns, one of 12 Ontario players that are in Canada's lineup. Russians steal the puck. Teligan turns and fires to the front of the net. Pietrangelo, also one of the Ontario players, has the puck, painted himself into a corner here. Dadonov and Anisimov trying to take the puck away from him. And it'll come loose for Burns. Straight up the middle, missed everybody. And this is an icing call against Canada.
The 5th season is when kids dream big. That's why we're a proud sponsor of the World Cup of Hockey, with over 8,000 community teams across Canada.
Think about how special it is for 12 young men from Ontario to get a chance to play in a tournament. They may never in their life get a chance to play a game of this magnitude so close to home. Right here. Off the boards, here's Nikolai Kulemin. Left the puck there. Malkin cuts in front of the net. Look how calm Price was, just staying with it as Malkin cut to the front of the net. Ryan Getzlaf to center. Steven Stamkos shoots the puck in. John Tavares goes after it. Markov, double team, puck thrown out front. That was intended for Stamkos. It hit a skate, didn't get this. Back in comes Vladimir Tarasenko. Hits the trailer on the plate, Kuznetsov. Ovechkin is on the ice. The two number 8s come together. Doughty got the puck. He got bumped. Tavares to the blue line, not out. Thrown at the net, and Carey Price made the save on the long shot by Zaitsev.
Jim, you mentioned the calmness of Carey Price. As a shooter, when you're going in on a goaltender, you're looking for some exaggerated movement that you can try to react off of. So when you're coming in quickly, one eye on the goaltender, but you just don't see it with Price. If he overplays one way, you can cut back to the other, much like Sidney Crosby did on Bobrovsky. Once he bit down and went one way, Crosby went the other. There, just calmly, Price was anchored against the post, slid across, and there was no opening.
Got his heart rate all the way up to about 15 beats per minute. A Canadian breakout. Jonathan Toews. 1-0 lead for Canada, but anything but a dominant period. They've outshot the Russians 8-5. Alexei Emelin missed on his pass to Tarasenko. The hand pass will stop play with under 7 minutes to play in the first period, and there's a penalty being called on the play too.
To Tarasenko, Jim, the puck was in play in the air, and Tarasenko came by and just gave a little bit of a forearm shiver.
Team Russia penalty number 91. 2 minutes for roughing.
You could see right there, yeah, afterwards, the shoulder to the face of Couture. And that's what was picked up there by Kelly Sutherland. So, wow, an opportunity. He had 2 power plays by the Russians that they were stalled on, didn't get anything. And here, what an opportunity to go up too early for Canada.
Canada in the tournament 2 for 10 with a man advantage, and Crosby won the draw with authority. Brent Burns walks the line. Thornton screening in front. Stamkos with a one-timer that missed the net. Burns with a quick shot. Went wide of the net. Stamkos, Bergeron, Crosby, Thornton, and Burns on the power play for Canada, and Brent Burns turns at center. Stamkos got that by Bobrovsky. Bergeron let the puck go to Crosby. Tried to go back to the blue line. Intercepted by Teligan and cleared down the ice. Second power play unit is coming on the ice. Ryan Getzlaf is out there. John Tavares, Corey Perry, Jonathan Toews trying to carry the puck into the attacking zone. He's turned back. Kuznetsov goes for a little skate, then sends the puck down the ice. Drew Doughty is back.
Another example of the discipline of Canada. That was a 26-second power play by that first unit. Didn't work. Change it up, keep them guys fresh, and let the next group have their chance.
Doughty stick handle over the blue line. He's got to retreat. Getzlaf shoots the puck back in. Corey Perry, his Anaheim line mate, teammate, gets in after the puck. And Nisimov sends it down the ice. And another change on the power play.
That's why you do it. Jonathan Toews, his group, nothing happens, and now you got 40 seconds for that top unit to come out again. And that top unit might go against the second or third unit of the Russian penalty kill.
Bergeron stops up. His pass was behind Crosby, taken by Shea Weber. On the other side, here's Brent Burns, looks towards the net. Side of the goal, Crosby scored from there. Now the crowd forms in front. The pass to Bergeron. He had his stick lifted by Nikolai Kulemin. Weber drove the puck back in. Burns left it for Crosby. Sid has a look around, he's got a shot, and he takes it in. Bobrovsky makes the save and hangs on with 3 seconds left in the Tarasenko penalty.
Well, you saw the look of Crosby there. He was coming around and just trying to find a lane, but a very passive penalty kill. They get a little bit of trouble, so what do the Russians do? They just stay to the inside, try to take away the shooting lane there and any passing option. And Crosby looked. He had his head up the entire time. Is anybody open for a one-timer? Burns is a right-handed shot. Nothing open there. And at the end, looking for a rebound with Marchand and Bergeron on the doorstep.
Ryan O'Reilly won the draw. Bouwmeester's shot was blocked. The penalty's over. Tarasenko's back on. And here's a chance for a 2-on-1. Tarasenko for Malkin. The puck came back to him and he shot wide. Played perfectly by Bouwmeester. The only man back. And now at 5-on-5 to center, Matt Duchene. O'Reilly drives the net. Just about tipped that. Jay Bouwmeester. And to O'Reilly, another penalty is coming up here against the Russians. And Canada will go right back on the power play. Nikita Zaitsev is in the middle of this little fracas at the side of the net, and he's going to get the penalty. 1-0 lead for Canada, and back on the power play. There's the penalty on Zaitsev at the World Cup of Hockey on CBC and Sportsnet.
Emphasizes the depth of elite hockey in this country. Keith, Ben, Carter, Sagan, all hurt. In came Bouwmeester, Couture, Corey Perry, and Ryan O'Reilly. And interesting to note that none of the four are among Team Canada's scratches. It's why we often hear the repeated notion that Canada could easily have two competitive teams in tournaments like this, Jim.
Got two competitive power plays, and it's the unit with Sid Crosby that gets to work here. Zaitsev off for tripping. Anisimov won the draw. Stamkos, Joe Thornton, Sidney Crosby. Bergeron in the slot. The shooter is Burns, and he got it away, and Bobrovsky got a piece of that. Thornton again. Back to Brent Burns. He often just fires right away. This time he had to settle the puck down, and he waits. Thornton screening. Stamkos to the net. He wanted that tipped. Instead it went wide. Burns again. Steven Stamkos. Cross ice pass, Crosby into the middle, Stamkos shoots and he missed, had to kick it up, and Bobrovsky was across. Here's Stamkos again towards the net, forced to his backhand, he turns and his pass is picked off, and Tellegen just shoots the puck down the ice and changes.
Well, that won't help the confidence of Steven Stamkos. You talked about the Ontario boys trying to have some great moments in this building. He's had a ton of chances, and two of them there that he wasn't able to get on net.
Favorable bounce to the front of the net. Canadians get a hold of the puck. Getzlaf gets a return pass from Tavares. Big crowd has formed in front of the net. Taves is right there. Here's Drew Doughty. Tavares shoots. Bobrovsky got across and made the save. Corey Perry's in front. A good stick there by Markov. Got a hold of the puck for the Russians, and they're able to clear it.
It's 13 shots now already, and Bobrovsky's looked sharp. He was dialed into that one, came across perfectly on the one-time.
There's Jonathan Taves in the last 30 seconds of this latest power play. Drew Doughty's screen shot that was tipped by Perry over top of the net. And the Russians are able to clear the puck again. Anisimov will go after Doughty, so Carey Price played the puck. Getzlaf, rink wide to Tavares. Here on defenseman Orlov. Turns back to the blue line. Doughty on the other side. Getzlaf shot. High and just missed the net. Thrown back out front, and none of the Canadians could get a hold of the puck. Penalties over. Zaitsev is back on. Here's Tarasenko with a shot. Kicked away by Carey Price. Corey Perry's back. Ian Getzlaf under pressure. Panarin centered. Orlov took a shot. Tipped out of the air by a high stick. And the Canadians get a hold of the puck to center. Doughty dumps it in with 2 minutes to go in this first period. Alexei Yemelin bringing a prayer pass to center, and Kuhlman came up with a puck. Panarin, Kuznetsov, Panarin, and Price got across to make the save in the one-timer. Russians throw the puck in the corner. Mark-Edward Vlasic. Another penalty coming up against the Russians. A third consecutive penalty as Price leaves the net for the extra attacker. Logan Couture replied. Duchene can't get control of the puck. And Evgeny Kuznetsov is getting a high sticking penalty. The Canadians get a third consecutive power play in the first period.
Yeah, you saw the shoulder up high. The puck was there for a split second. The one thing you have to be concerned about is right there and right in front of Kelly Sutherland. So an errant stick is right. When I saw it originally, I thought maybe it was Weber who got his stick up going after the puck. Instead, he was the recipient.
This power play is brought to you by Ram, the most efficient full-size pickup ever. Seeing this, it makes you think Canada better score on this power play because you know there's going to be some coming the other way.
Yeah.
Off the draw, Burns with his shot. Knocked down in front of the net. Still loose, there's a scramble. And Bobrovsky has the puck before the Canadians could converge on it.
You mentioned the quickness of Brent Burns in his release at the point, and nobody's quite settled here. There's a battle for the puck back quickly, and that quick wrister almost beat Joe Thornton to the front of the net. There was no screen, but it was a hard one that the wrister there by Doughty in that case earlier got deflected, so a couple of good chances.
Canada won the draw. Stamkos with a shot. What a save by Bobrovsky. Stamkos again. Joe Thornton. Sidney Crosby. Burns. Stamkos to the front of the net off a skate. Crosby. Burns. Quick shot up high. Stamkos overskated the puck and Yemelin's able to clear it. That was a tremendous save by Bobrovsky on Steven Stamkos. Last minute, first period, Canadians in after the puck again. Burns will have to go back to get it. Kuhlman pulling the penalty with Nemesnikov. Here's Brent Burns up on the rush. Tavares is in front of the net. Burns backhand shot, and he scooped it out of play, and all of these penalties are keeping Malkin and Ovechkin right out of the game.
Well, Brent Burns had a career year offensively last year. He can put the puck in the back of the net, but more typically the shots from the point that we saw earlier. This time he finds himself, hey, I'm in all alone. If Kulikov's going to give me the lane, tries to go up top. Nice work, though. You saw Bobrovsky. Even that little lean of Bobrovsky's head at the last second just took away any opportunity for Burns to find daylight there.
Power play continues. John Tavares in with a shot. That's off the stick of Zaitsev. And up into the netting. One really good chance on the power play, and that was Stamkos again.
Jim, you mentioned coming in, you know, the big rivalry, everybody focused on what this game means, the pressure of Canada to make sure they get into the final, the best 2 out of 3, so at least you have an opportunity to have a bad game. It's been a pretty nervous, tentative start to some degree, don't you feel?
Yeah, they haven't exactly steamrolled them, have they? There's Getzlaf with a shot. Bounces wide of the net, thrown to the front. Tellegen tried to clear it, and he did. He got a lucky bounce, and the puck got away from Drew Doughty. One last rush here in the period. Doughty knows he's not got much time. Jonathan Toews up against Dadonov. Gets in deep and threw the puck towards the net. Perry gets after it to the blue line. Getzlaf, quick shot off a skate in front of the net. And the Russians will clear the puck. And that'll do it. The power play will carry over for 28 seconds into period number 2. Sidney Crosby has the game's only goal. Coming up in our first intermission, it's the World Cup edition of Don Cherry's Coach's Corner. Sidney Crosby unassisted. The shot 17-7 Canada. Crosby and the Canadians have a 1-0 lead after 1 of the World Cup.
Well, we have mixed emotions here. We have Bob Cole win the Order of Canada. Can we have a picture of Bob? He looks very handsome here, I must say. Where is he here? There he is. He Hockey Hall of Fame and the whole deal. He looks good there, eh? What is Davy Johnson? Isn't that the guy?
Our Governor General and Bob. Nice.
On the other hand, we have PJ's brother, Dean, that is a captain. He was only 39 years old. He died of Lou Gehrig's disease. There he is. He was a captain. He must have a character guy. And we have a great shot of PJ and him when he played. He played. There we are, right there. Victoriaville. What a 39 years old. Our condolences to Paula and the kids. PJ, I know, is heartbroken, as all the family is.
Yeah, our love for sure, and did a lot of great stuff for ALS in Montreal. So our
absolutely.
Love.
Now we have a little thing here. The Americans haven't ruined that yet. And you dum-dums in Canada haven't caught on to dangle. Dangle, you know, that means to skate fast. And then you guys, that it's stick handling.
We think it's a dipsy-doodle,
yeah,
right?
Dipsy-doodle, dumbheads. So they haven't ruined wheel yet. Tavares says it to Drew Doughty. He can't see. And, you know, wheel's a wheel. But a wheel, you'll hear it right here, right now.
Roll it, so to speak.
Go ahead. You gonna roll it?
Wheel, time. Wheel. Get the line.
That means skate fast.
Right.
I thought I'd just say it. That means skate fast. You go down the Americans, they'll say, well, a wheel's a wheel. Now, Crosby, we're going to do the face-offs first?
Sure.
5-1. Let's just see the quick 5-1 right now. You'll see him. And this reminds me when he was with Pittsburgh, right? Letang was over there. We won't go into that again. Here he is again. And then when we win these draws, I'm going to tell you, watch how you would say negate an icing here. He's done it so many times. There it is here. Here's the one on the goal. Watch this here. He negates, as Ron would say, and then he gets the goal. I thought it was kind of, not saying the Russians were going a little nuts on the bench after a while, but he puts it in. But he's done that before. Let's see him do it before. All right. Here he is again. Watch, he does it again. He does it again right here. Boy, he's having a series, I'll tell you. Greatest hockey player in the world.
Speed is intimidating, isn't it? So the draws 18-7 Canada and shots 17-7 for Canada.
Well, we want to see Bobrovsky, eh?
Yes.
Let's see, first of all, are we going to see the shots first? Or are we going to see, let's see the shots first, all right? Here it is here. This guy, as I said on the opening, he's the guy you're hanging around. He's hanging around, and that's what they do. That's what he does all the time. He did it in the National Hockey League. He's given his chance. We get a next goal, it's all over, because this is what he does all the time. Now, we got a little thing, how smart he is. He coming up here. Now, watch what he does when Marchand's there. He doesn't freeze the puck. Now watch, he shoots it in here. Now watch, he puts it in, he keeps it going here because we made a change. Now watch here, Marchand shoots the puck. Now he's going to get a free. Now he sees, he's laying, looks up, he gives it, and away he goes. That's how smart he is. He's thinking all the time.
There's one more look. Just as you say, Brad, might have just gone to the net for a half a second, and that would have made the difference there.
Smart guy.
Okay, Don, you had a lovely day earlier in the week for the torch relay for the police.
Well, we had 300. We had, first of all, we showed us toes. We had 300 officers. The remembrance of officers killed, and there I call them soul sisters. They are the wives of the guys that are killed, the policemen that are killed on duty, in the line of duty. And we got a beautiful one of Josh and Jordan later, right here. And this is they raise money for the families. And there they are right there, and that's Jordan. And behind we got a better shot than that. They raise the money for the families of the fallen officers, and there's Josh and Jordan. View Farm. He died in the line of duty. And I'll tell you, we never get any PR. There wasn't one thing in the paper about it. But if they were laying down, if they were, all that stuff and everything, breaking into councils and stuff like that, and they never had one thing. But let one police officer do one thing wrong, and it's headlines. The greatest guys in the world are the police, and God love you. I know you're watching in Ottawa right now. You ran all the way. You're the best.
A badge of honor from Don Cherry on the Coach's Corner on CBC at the World Cup of Hockey. That Nathan McKinnon used it. Sidney Crosby used it in the first period. There's our relay team from Atlanta. Okay, down to Scott Oak.
Sid, the steal for the goal, I think we can say, underlines your commitment to playing defense in this tournament. Did you have any time to think about what you were going to do after you got it off Kulikov?
A little too much. You get out in the slot there with some time and just try to react, but usually you don't have that much time, so glad it went in.
And you beat him cleanly on the backhand. The question coming into this tournament or this game tonight was more about Russia's power play and how are they going to fix it. Now you've gone 0 for 3 in the first period. Any concerns about Canada playing with the man advantage?
Yeah, we want to make sure we capitalize. We have some time left, so it's not quite 0 for 3 yet. So hopefully we can get one here at the start of the period and make sure that we build on it. But regardless, we got to make sure we keep going at them and generate some chances here.
Thanks, Sid. Appreciate your time.
All right, thanks.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, the tire that delivers world-class performance all around the globe. Goodyear, more driven.
Tire that delivers world-class performance all around the globe. Goodyear, more driven. Well, prominent school of thought coming into the semifinal was Russia's best chance of winning was for Sergei Bobrovsky to stand on his head, and certainly he's capable of it. Consider that he won the Vezina Trophy with Columbus in 2013, but groin injuries, half a dozen of them, hampered him the last 2 seasons, but he's been healthy in this World Cup, looking very much like he's on Vezina form. We recall him stoning Connor McDavid on a breakaway against Team North America, then shut out Finland. Bobrovsky's been Russia's go-to goalie for a few years now. He led Russia to the 2014 World Championship in Belarus. Russia outshot 17-7 in the first period tonight, so Bobrovsky, despite giving up one to Crosby, has been on his game, Jim.
Especially at the international level, 14-4 in his last 18 appearances in that uniform. Very good in the first period, especially against Steven Stamkos. He made a wonderful save, and Steven missed 3 times. Canada has 28 seconds with which to work on a power play to start this period. They're third. They haven't scored on a power play since the first game. They got 2 against the Czechs in a 6-0 win and haven't scored since then. Joe Thornton, Sidney Crosby, Patrice Bergeron in after the puck. Still all those power plays in the first period, and Sid still didn't play 5 minutes. Short shifts continue.
I showed the one time it was a 29-second power play shift and then got the last 35 seconds.
Here's Joe Thornton in with a shot. A bounce in front, and Sid just about got a good shot away. Penalties over. Kuznetsov is back on. Now Canada is 0 for 3 in the power play, and Thornton plays the puck back to center. Into the middle of the ice, an interception. Ivan Teligan with his shot. That deflected off a stick and wide of the net. Teligan's been a pretty good player. One of the better forwards. Ovechkin taken out of that first period because of all of the penalty killing the Russians had to do, but he still played over 6 minutes, more than in any other first period in this tournament. Jonathan Toews playing against Ovechkin. Jay Bouwmeester. Drew Doughty. His pass rinked wide, gets by everyone. And that's called icing.
Well, so much the talk if you're behind is about Ovechkin too. I can understand games when you're maybe settling in. The Russians had a hard time in first periods. They hadn't scored and still haven't in a first period. So the notion of trying to get him more involved is one, but I think when you look at half of that number on the power play, and Jim, that first power play, he was on for 2 minutes of it and they never got in the offensive zone.
Nikita Nesterov, the 7th defenseman, didn't play very much. He's out on the ice right now with Markov. Here's a bouncing puck that Corey Perry's trying to track down. Toews and Couture arrive on the scene. Malkin knocked the puck away to the inboards and gave it away. Jonathan Toews out front. Perry stopped by Bobrovsky. Terrific chance for Corey Perry. He may have been surprised that the puck actually got to him.
I don't think he could see it to the last second, Jim, and he ended up putting it back towards the left side of the net. Almost just a reflex action for both Perry and the goaltender Bobrovsky.
Giveaway by Malkin, accepted by Toews. Here's Nikita Kucherov. Drop pass. Evgeny Malkin, his pass hit a skate, didn't get to Panarin, and the Canadians are back with numbers the other way. Getzlaf had to wait for the puck, get control. Steven Stamkos up through the middle. John Tavares turns off the boards, rips a shot, deflected wide of the net. Getzlaf at the blue line, his shot is blocked. Stamkos. Malkin got the puck away. Nemesnikov shot it to center. The Canadians shoot it right back in. And they'll change on the fly here, 2.5 minutes into period number 2. Kulikov. His long pass is deflected into the middle of the ice, and as Anisimov gets a hold of it, there's a offside call.
Well, you think of the power of the Canadian team is that ability to forecheck. We already saw Crosby score off a turnover. This time, Toews gets in there with Couture. And for a split second, Malkin thinks he has some time and space. Instead, it's gone. And watch the reaction of Perry. It's hit his feet a little bit, and he just shovels that back towards the net. An excellent positional save by Bobrovsky, but not the shot that I'm sure Perry was hoping he could get.
That last big win for Canada over the Russians at the Olympics in Vancouver, Corey Perry scored 2 goals in that 7-3 game. Canadians back into the attacking zone. And the Russians throw the puck down the ice. Doughty's chasing it. And there's an icing call against Russia. Laughs are in store on the new family comedy Kim's Convenience. Tuesdays at 9, starting October 4th on CBC. Canadians were great, winning 72% of the draws in the first period. Brad Marchand. Bergeron in front, Crosby hovering around here. Zaitsev trying to fight off the Canadian. There's a centering pass. Bergeron's shot didn't get to the net. Brad Marchand. Zaitsev comes over to him, knocked the puck away, didn't get it out. Pietrangelo keeps it in. Marchand working feverishly. Crosby comes in to help out, but the puck goes through center. And the Russians want to change here. They're in a long change second period. Some of them changed, some of them couldn't. Bergeron dumps the puck in. Canada will change.
And here's the matchup issue for the Russians there. Orlov and Zaitsev. Zaitsev not in the NHL left. Orlov would never get a shift against Crosby one-on-one, but here he's considered a top defenseman.
There's a loose puck in front, and Tarasenko shot the stick of Drew Doughty away. Now Doughty gets the stick, jumps up. He had a man alone at center. The puck ricocheted through. Here's Corey Perry, shoots, and the rebound eluded Jonathan Toews. Toews again. Steals the puck, his wraparound. Stopped by Bobrovsky. Ovechkin keeping his own zone, ran into Perry. Puck bounced up in the air. Toews has got it. Logan Couture hit by Ovechkin. Markov gets the puck for the Russians. Malkin bounced it out to center. The Canadians have it again. Doughty shoots the puck right back in. A new line in after it. John Tavares made a move. Steven Stamkos waits off the goal post. Banked it off the post, trying to put it in. Another great chance for Stamkos. Here's Ryan Getzlaf. Stamkos in front of the net. John Tavares in behind it. Stops, ran into a defender. Stamkos got the puck to Tavares. Couldn't get a shot. Getzlaf to the blue line. Weber just holds the puck in. Getzlaf, high stick by Yemelin on Tavares that went uncalled. Stamkos jarred the puck loose, gets it back, in too tight. Centering pass, Vlasic rips a shot into the glove of Bobrovsky. Some real dominance by the Canadians, but they can't get the second goal.
And the first period, the chances for Stamkos came on the power play standing still. Look at the play by John Tavares. Inside out, and then a nifty pass, and he just ran out of real estate. And in a last-ditch effort, you can see the front of the net. I think Stamkos thinks he can put this on the tape of Ryan Getzlaf's stick. Instead, it just goes right through the legs. Getzlaf battling hard in front with Markov, can't get a piece of it.
Can't get lucky to have one bank in. Artemi Panarin. Dmitry Kulikov. Brent Burns sent the play the other way. That was intercepted. Here's a chance for Kuznetsov. Panarin at the side of the net. Kuliman's out front. Kulikov with a shot way wide of the net. Marchenko on the other side chopped the puck back in. Petrangelo's under pressure here. Kuliman couldn't make the puck settle down, and the Canadians clear to center. Buffalo's Dmitry Kulikov. Off the bench, Nemesnikov was checked. Here comes Brad Marchand trying to drive wide, had his stick checked, and Bobrovsky covers the puck.
Jim, you've said the word Steven Stamkos an awful lot tonight, and here's what the first period was like on the power play, trying a hard shot. That one went all the way down, back the other side, so instead of going far side, he tried short side. Another puck that Bobrovsky tracked extremely well, got over there quickly. Couple of near misses in this last one, as you mentioned. Maybe try to throw it and hit a leg and go in. Instead, it went through the legs of Getzlaf and out the other side.
It's now 30 attempts on net in this tournament, with no results. Russians trying to clear the puck. Crosby line trying to keep it in. Patrice Bergeron, Sidney Crosby, and back off a skate. Nemesnikov took the man. The puck goes to Evgeny Malkin, and he gets to center and dumps it in. Jay Bouwmeester is back. Kucherov is right on it, trying to take the puck away. Bounces to the front of the net. Nemesnikov. Nikita Nesterov on the other side. Here's Alexei Yemelin. Plays the puck in. Nemesnikov in front. The puck hit a skate on the way to the front of the net. And Sidney Crosby backhanded it to center. Marchand. In comes Bergeron with a shot. Bobrovsky saw that all the way and made the save. Artem Anisimov along the boards trying to clear the puck. He'll get some help here. Nikita Nesterov. Kucherov poked the puck inside the Canadian zone. Vlasic back the other way to his partner Weber. Toews' line has come on the ice. And that's an icing call against Team Canada, and Corey Perry will argue that he touched it.
Well, we saw the questionable call on the Crosby goal you mentioned there, Jim. It looked like he didn't touch it, and it was not called icing. This one, though, they got an overrule here, so they're coming to center ice. So the Russians can't get a break either way. They thought maybe that last goal should have been icing, and that one there, when they thought it should be, wasn't.
We're 6:49 into the second period. The Russians haven't had a shot on goal. They're still stuck at 7. Canadians have had 6 in this period, but can't get that second goal. Still 1-0 on Crosby's unassisted goal in the first period.
If you're the Russians, you just got to stay close. Don't allow any separation here. If you're not getting any offense, just try to stay in the game. The longer this goes, you know the nervousness. Although Canada's pretty comfortable playing with a 1-goal lead, you just know the Russians are, the next goal might be potentially the game winner.
Anisimov, their best face-off man, comes on, but he still loses to Jonathan Toews. Brent Burns carries the puck out, right on the stick of Toews into the attacking zone. Coming up late, Logan Couture to the front of the net. Great battle there. Orlov got position on Toews, got the puck and got it to center. Here's Tarasenko. Ovechkin's on the other side. Anisimov driving the net. Vladimir Tarasenko to the blue line, and he missed on the pass to Markov.
That was a really good read by Brent Burns, seeing that he had forwards back in support of Pietrangelo, who got caught, and so he stayed aggressive and ended up standing the player up and breaking it back the other way.
Yemelin back for the puck. His pass. Kuznetsov dumps it in. Carey Price out to play it. Kuznetsov along the boards, back inside for Panarin. He gets checked by Shea Weber. And the puck comes to the blue line. Kulikov on the other side. Marchenko off the end boards. Artemi Panarin checked along the boards. And the Canadians come up with a puck. Getzlaf. Burns to center. Stamkos onto the wing to Getzlaf. Gets by Kuhlman to the front of the net. Kicked away by Bobrovsky in a pass intended for John Tavares. Canadians hold the line. They kept the puck in. Tavares turns, passes in front into the feet of Shea Weber. He just couldn't get a stick on it. Weber again holds the puck in with a shot that hit John Tavares. Getzlaf. Marchenko took the puck away. Kulikov up the boards. Panarin trying to clear the puck. And he hits somebody on his own bench and stops play, and they needed that because the Russians want to change. Still 1-0. The Canadians have 24 shots, but only a 1-goal lead. Another close call at the World Cup of Hockey.
They were engaged for a year. Ovechkin tweeted a picture of the two of them wearing wedding bands with the caption, "This is happiness." Sounds kind of mellow. And I think I'm really good at wedding updates. Stand by for more updates from the social pages, Jim.
Of the second period, Nikita Kucherov gets it, and the Russians have tied the Canadians 1-1.
Right on cue, your nervousness bang on. As said before, the Russians just hang in there. Malkin wins a draw, hard rim. This is a set play that Bouwmeester thought he could keep the puck in. Instead, 1-1 game.
10.5 minutes without a shot on goal between the late part of the first period and the first half of the second. And Nikita Kucherov finally got one for Russia, and he made it count. Nervous indeed. Now it's 1-1, and the shots are 24-8 in favor of Canada. From the blue line, Weber drills a shot. Bobrovsky makes the save.
Jim, I mentioned a set play by the Russians, and this is nothing new. Everybody's got a play. What happens on a draw? You got the defenseman on his off wing, just a hard rim, and just a bit of a bad luck bounce there for Bouwmeester. But how about the shot by Kucherov? No bird this time. He had one in the last game that he scored that one. Kuznetsov was the one doing the bird.
Kucherov, one of the players playing in this tournament as a restricted free agent without a contract. Skilled Tampa winger gets a goal, and Weber takes a shot off a draw, won by Canada. Got away from Ovechkin and threw the puck towards the net. It was blocked. Jonathan Toews, Weber again with a shot. Bobrovsky again with a save. Toews, Perry, Couture work for the puck. There's been a real territorial advantage for Canada in this second period, but Russia has the only goal. Kulikov to Marchenko. Shoot in. Vlasic is back for the puck. Shoveled it to his partner, Weber. Hard up the middle, and turnover off the skate. Taken back by the Canadians from Ovechkin.
Fans trying to get into this now. They've seen the shot clock doesn't mean much when the scorer clock is all ones.
Some open ice. Kuznetsov fires a shot and he missed the net. Getzlaf takes the puck on the boards and shovels it to center. Tavares couldn't handle it. Just onside. No, it's offside. Just offside. That was a close call at the blue line.
Well, the push right now for the Russians to get a little energy from a big goal by Kucherov. Get your legs moving, try to turn pucks over. And there's a bad pass there by Vlasic. Another odd man rush that price out heavy, hard to take away the angle.
Nikita Kucherov has his second goal of missed the action Mondays at 9 on CBC. 1-1 tie. Canada, Russia, second period. Winner moves on to the best of 3 final at the World Cup. Into the attacking zone again. John Tavares trying to make a move. Can't get by Panarin. Drew Doughty from center will drill the puck back in for Canada. Getzlaf couldn't get control of the puck. Nesterov fanned once and plays the puck back to Alexei Yemelin. Hard up the boards. Getzlaf is there to keep the puck in. Tavares without a stick. He couldn't get the puck to Stamkos. Here's Marchand off the bench, and that play just went offside. Marchand was trying to wait for Stamkos to get out across the line and couldn't quite do it.
Well, Mike Babcock has liked this line. They've been one of the most effective. In this period alone, they've hemmed their opponent in 3-4 times. You see the stick lost. Otherwise, that might have been a play where Stamkos and Tavares might have been able to tack down. And now, as half the game is over, a 1-1 game, the Canadian head coach, will be interesting to see what he does with his bench. It's not like they haven't been getting their chances.
Goes back to the Crosby line, and they dump the puck in and go after it. Dmitry Orlov is back. Off the glass, not out. Crosby takes a shot. Bobrovsky to save. Zaitsev cleared the rebound. And there'll be another icing call against the Russians, who have been hemmed in their own zone for much of the game. They barely won any faceoffs. Finally did when Malkin got a rare win, and that set up a goal.
Yeah, well, the reason they're in this game is their 26 saves already by Sergei Bobrovsky when the Canadians have had odd man rushes. There was 2 of them short-handed. Traffic in front. Bobrovsky seeing the puck well, battling through and making the game a difficult one so far for Canada.
Crosby to Bergeron in behind the net. Here's Brad Marchand battling Zaitsev. Crosby forechecking. Young defenseman, number 22, won the battle. Kucherov. Carey Price plays the puck into the corner. Vlasic is there. Kucherov took the puck away. Kuznetsov has Nemesnikov in front of the net. Vlasic got the puck up the boards. Brad Marchand, a 3-on-2 to center. Bergeron to Crosby. Marchand, the trailer. Weber jumps up and they don't get a shot out of it. Crosby from behind the net. Patrice Bergeron centering pass, hit the side of the net, trying to find the puck is Bobrovsky, and he's finally got it and smothers it.
Jim, you could almost hear a collective shoot from the crowd here. It was a nice job off the turnover in the zone, 3-on-2. Center drive by Bergeron opens up the trailer, and instead of throwing it to the net, Brad Marchand sensing Weber. But look at the back pressure there. Just getting a stick in there was Kuznetsov to break it up, and almost had a chance to go back the other way, like you see so often. A missed chance at one end ends up with another chance at the other.
Ryan O'Reilly on the draw against Anisimov. Joe Thornton's tied up by Yemelin. Markov up the boards, good read by Burns to jump in and keep the puck in. From behind the net, Burns goes out front. Thornton. Back around to Ryan O'Reilly. For Joe Thornton, Matt Duchene is there with him. Markov breaks the play up, can't clear the puck. Burns with a shot off the leg in front. Bobrovsky with a nice save. Anisimov gets the puck and bounces it off the glass through center. Burns is back. Pietrangelo up the boards. Anisimov keeps the puck in. Dadonov couldn't come up with it. Here's a race forward, and Matt Duchene gets to the puck first. Backing in Zaitsev. Stops up, fell down, but got the puck to Joe Thornton. Duchene gets it back. His shot is blocked by Zaitsev. Thrown towards the net. Bobrovsky stopped that. Zaitsev tried to clear the puck. Taves coming off the bench. Dadonov trying to get a hold of the puck. Anisimov does to the open side. Dmitry Orlov. Slowly out of his own zone. Zaitsev. Orlov to center. Ovechkin's on the ice with Tarasenko. He couldn't get a hold of the puck. And so Taves' line is out there. Jonathan Taves shoots the puck in. Bobrovsky to Orlov. Threw it around on the boards. Tarasenko's going to come back for the puck against Taves. And it gets out to center. Here's Ovechkin with Malkin. Up comes Tarasenko. He shoots and Price makes a nice save. Back the other way come the Canadians. Logan Couture, Corey Perry. Drew Doughty shoots and that deflects out of play. End-to-end action at the World Cup.
Boy, you sense the anxiousness and tension in this game, both from the fans and the players alike on the ice. Watch Tarasenko knock Perry down there just at the blue line. That opens him up alone. Price stands him tall, but now back the other way. How often do you see Alexander Ovechkin going down in that manner? On the rush going back after the missed chance, the Russians coming back hard to break that one up.
Interesting that it's not fire wagon hockey from the Russians. It's board up the net and play for a tie. They're spending much of the game in their own zone and relying on Sergei Bobrovsky.
Well, you saw that replay though, Tarasenko. If he had scored there, there would have been an awful lot of stir from the Canadian bench on Perry getting knocked down there.
Getzlaf. And Kuznetsov on the draw. Panarin is stopped by Steven Stamkos. Kuznetsov left the puck in some skates right out front. There's a shot off the post by Ryan Getzlaf. Turnover and a great chance, but no goal. Getzlaf again. Steven Stamkos in front. Can't shoot from there. Vlasic. Here's Weber. Throws the puck at the net. Bobrovsky to save. John Tavares pounces on the rebound in the corner. To Steven Stamkos. Ran into a discarded stick. It's Getzlaf. He's got a new one. And getting back in the play. Tavares relays for Shea Weber. Against Artemi Panarin. He throws the puck to Yemelin. He's checked by Getzlaf. Up the boards. Kuhlman can't get out. He's checked. Finally Nesterov. Out to center, trying to dump the puck in. Can't do it. The Russians are on a change here. Right up the middle. Bergeron in alone. Checked by Nesterov. Bergeron again. Off the bench comes Crosby. His shot is stopped by Bobrovsky. Brad Marchand can't reel in the puck to get a shot. Canadians all over the Russians. Can't get a second goal in a 1-1 tie. Panarin very late in a long shift in which he's been trapped on the ice trying to get through. Marchenko holds the puck in. Drew Doughty dropped the puck off. Jay Bouwmeester to Brad Marchand, and the play goes just offside. What chances for the Canadians? They're already at 30 shots. Ryan Getzlaf off the bar and out. Patrice Bergeron caught by Nikita Nesterov. Still a 1-1 tie at the World Cup semifinal.
He's slow, he's small, and he's ugly, although Sagan meant it in a nice way. Marchand admits being an agitator is what got him to the NHL, but his offensive production, 30 goals last season, put him on Team Canada's radar. His restraint, his discipline in this World Cup, admirable. Now Sidney Crosby's line mate has taken his game to the next level, Jim.
They can use a goal from him right now in a nail-biter at 1-1, Dmitry Orlov. Kucherov with a shot. Price fought that off with his left shoulder. That's just the third Russian shot on goal. In the second period, it's 13-3.
And Jim, that was a difficult save with traffic in front. It was impressive that Price even saw that one to get his arm up.
Marchand blew a tire. Bouwmeester dumps the puck in. And the Russians have the puck as the Canadians change. Orlov to center. Trying to dump the puck in. A crazy bounce. That's what it might take for one of these teams to win. Hard pass up the middle. Ryan O'Reilly. Joe Thornton stops up the blue line. There's a hard shot by Burns, and it bounced back off the glass almost to the front of the net. Matt Duchene. Kulikov trying to check him. Malkin's there as well. Canadians keep the puck. Joe Thornton centering just out of the reach of O'Reilly. Burns from the line takes the shot. Hit his own man, Thornton, in the seat of the pants. Burns stops the Russian advance once more. Orlov to Malkin and in. Telegin's after. And the Russians, with few shots on goal, get one from Evgeny Kuznetsov. And it's a
2-second was going to go wide. Watch Kuznetsov right on the doorstep out of midair. There's the bird I mentioned before, and Tretiak with glee and surprise up in the box.
2 goals in the second period on 5 shots. And the Russians have a 2-1 lead in the World Cup semifinal. Kuznetsov from Telegin and Dadonov. Who knew? At 16-24, double shifting for Kuznetsov with only 11 forwards dressed in the Canadians, now playing from behind. Only been behind for a minute and a half in this whole tournament. And they've outshot the Russians 30-12, but they're behind in a single elimination game.
Get the PlayStation 4 bundle now. Play NHL 17, the most exciting EA Sports NHL ever on PS4.
Kucherov has his second of the tournament. Kuznetsov has his second of the tournament. And the Russians have the lead. Tarasenko. Can't clear the puck. Drew Doughty kept it in from behind the net. Out front, Tavares stopped by Bobrovsky. Another wonderful chance and wonderful save.
This line's been the most effective for the Canadians, Jim, and they're all around the net. And this is a save by Bobrovsky. At one end, we just saw Carey Price have a hard time picking up that kick puck over by Telegin. Watch this effort, though, from Wes McCauley watching the play in front. Tavares on the doorstep, and Bobrovsky started moving to his left and stayed down to his right and able to make the save.
Sidney Crosby off the draw. Hard backhand centering pass. Marchand couldn't handle it. Minute and 12 seconds after.
Makes the pass, sees the puck, wins the battle, gets it past Markov, and quick hands, no chance at all for Bobrovsky. When you're staring down Crosby in the slot, you got to have respect that he might get the shot away. And with such quick precision, a great pass across and a wide open net for Brad Marchand.
2-2 tie, late stages of the second period. Marchand from Crosby and Bergeron. Sid's got a goal and an assist in a big game that is tied 2-2. Shea Weber with the shooting. Marchenko is back. In come the Canadians again. A centering pass. Taves couldn't get a hold of that from Perry. And they'll hold the puck in. Corey Perry looks out front. Anisimov's trying to check him. Perry battles with one hand to the front of the net. Kulikov is there and starts out for the Russians. He'll flip the puck down the ice, a race for it. Nikolai Kulemin was there. Malkin steps off the bench. Checked by Joe Thornton. Gets away from Joe Thornton. He's 1-on-4 trying to fight towards the net. Orlov in with a shot. He hit the post. Zaitsev on the other side. Can't hold the line. Puck's taken away by Tarasenko. And the Russians have it again. Here's Dmitry Orlov. Fires a shot, and Carey Price makes the save and stops play.
We saw Ryan Getzlaf rip one off the post here again from Wes McCauley's vantage point. Great angle of it. Orlov coming in, a screen shot through the legs of Weber, and Carey Price just down and hoping that one as he saw it go by him, and Orlov just watched it on the big screen. Can't believe that didn't go off the post and in.
Shots in the period are now 16-6 Canada. Russians have 2 goals. Kucherov and Kuznetsov. Marchand has tied it up. Drew Doughty off a one face-off up the boards. Steven Stamkos to center. Out here with Getzlaf and Tavares again. And there's Telegin barging in after Doughty. He fell down. And the Canadians get the puck out in the last minute of the second period. Stamkos with the shooting. In comes Tavares. Can't come up with the puck. Yemelin up the boards. Dadonov flipped the puck to center. Kuznetsov to Teligan. Could be a 2-on-1. The trailer. Markov back to Teligan, and he's shot wide of the net. Terrific chance for the Russians. This line has been excellent. Teligan's been one of their better forwards through this tournament. Kulikov back in his own zone. Chased by John Tavares. He gets the legs moving. Flies to center. Artem Anisimov takes over and shoots up high. Missed the net. Tarasenko holds the puck in. Got away from Tavares. Lost control of the puck. Anisimov behind the net is checked. Bank shot trying to put it in is Tarasenko, and that fell in the blue after it hit a body. And Carey Price smothers the puck with 8 seconds to go in the period.
Oh, good late push again. Teligan is all over the puck, and then at the end, another one. And so bouncing puck past Stamkos, so 2-on-1 is there for a second. Heads-up play by Markov that Teligan just can't quite get it. And then right on the doorstep, those little battles in tight as Tarasenko throws it to the net off the arm of Sidney Crosby, and it's there for a split second. And it's Carey Price who wins the battle to smother that one.
Jonathan Toews wins the draw. And Vlasic is content just to eat this along the boards and let the time run out in the second period. And we're down to 1 period as Marchand is into it here, along with Evgeny Malkin, and a lot of face washing going on.
At this point, you got to make sure you're not the one taken out of the pile to give the opposition a power play.
And so they all skate away. We're down to 1 period. Russia against Canada for a trip to the World Cup final. Brad Marchand tied things up at 17-36 in the World Cup.
As you know, we're 2-2 through 2 periods of play. Overtime tonight is 5-on-5 until somebody scores. Elliott.
Well, as the building was getting really nervous, we kept saying, let's see Canada get tested. Let's see Canada get tested. It's worth pointing out the 2 times they gave up the first goal of the States, they trailed for 1:29. Tonight, when they fell behind, they get tested, they tie it.
And Craig talked about how Canada was all over the net, and yes, to a certain extent, but that goal that Elliott just showed was probably the first time that they got Bobrovsky to commit, and they were able to make that extra pass. Up until then, I don't think the 30-plus shots were really, Ron, overtaxing. Bobrovsky was able to see a lot of it. There, Bergeron just off to the side enough. Again here, Perry, he's got his angle, as Kelly has alluded to, and really all this did was kind of just build up that confidence level until we saw this play here. That's a 37-goal scorer passing off. Why? Because Bobrovsky's now in their heads a little bit, and that's a very dangerous thing because we know the ice has been tilted pretty much for 40 minutes, but he is the X factor, and despite that late goal by Canada, this is still a very dangerous game from Canada because of that goaltender.
And dangerous snipers for the Russian squad. When you think that they hadn't had a shot, and then the first one Carey Price is going to face in the second period is Kucherov. And I am going to tell you, when you watch this, I will say this is an unstoppable shot. That's how perfect it is. It's perfectly placed, about 1.5 feet off the ice, stick side from the off wing, post and in. There is nothing Carey Price or any other goaltender in the world that can do to stop that. That is a perfectly placed shot. And then now 30 seconds left, Teligan tries the same sort of thing. He just shot it wide, and I'm noticing a little bit that players are shooting there. Now, that's not a weakness on Carey Price. That's any goaltender.
That's left-hand shots on their off wing.
Yep.
That was the problem for Drew Doughty, right? He was trying to force a little pressure and take away the pass, but you ended up giving a guy a great angle there. And the other examples we showed, Getzlaf, Perry, they're coming in on their proper wing.
Yeah.
No angle at all. So Alexander Ovechkin, right-hand shot, hasn't been a factor?
Well, no shot attempts. Never mind no shot attempts. And some of that is because Canada was absolutely dominating. But, you know, the other thing he's trying to do is, look, all the heat is on him. If they lose, he knows he's going to get it himself, and he's trying to at least make a difference. And one of the biggest plays he made was a big defensive play late. Canada had a tremendous chance, I thought, on this rush to get a good scoring chance, and there he is with the shot block. 0 shot attempts, 2 shot blocks. You know, Ron, I think he's only got 5 shots the entire tournament. I can't imagine that Russia's going to win the overall championship with Ovechkin's shot attempts still being that low.
And that was a blocked shot by a Doughty attempt. I really believe that in this period here, we're going to see a lot more activity from that back end. Here's the advantage that Canada has over Russia, is they're able to get those D up. You look at the Russian defense, they're trying hard, but they can't create a thing moving forward. This is all based on trying to get the puck up to those forwards and trying to get goals like they just had. But other than that, they're not going to get much help from the back end.
Their first pass isn't all that great either, and so that's a problem. And you are exactly right in that the Canadian strategy is if the Canadian D can go. Yeah.
You know, we've been hammering on the Russian coaching all tournament. It's interesting that tonight, in the semifinal game head-to-head against Canada, they have abandoned a lot of long-held strategies. 11 forwards and 7D, we rarely see that. Rotating 3 centers through the lineup, we almost never see that from them. They have tried tonight to be different.
I'll tell you what he's done that he hasn't done all tournament. He put Ovechkin on the ice for over 6 minutes in the first period. That's a good message for the rest of the team that he wants the big boys to show up.
Kelly, the psychology of the 2 goaltenders. Bobrovsky, is he going to wear down? Did he look defeated after that equalizer?
It was interesting when they went up 2-1. First guy I put my eyes on was Bobrovsky to see what he was going to do, and he took a long drink of water. It's kind of like, uh-oh, this is a little bit different. When you're lights out and you know the other team's a little bit affected by it, and now you have the lead, it sometimes puts a little pressure on him. I'm not so worried about Carey Price that he hasn't faced a lot of shots, because we saw this in Sochi, and in my opinion, oftentimes I'm going, boy, that's not very good if you haven't faced a lot, but he doesn't seem to buckle under that.
World-class save in this game, world-class save on Tarasenko in the pre-tournament. 2 examples of his game at its best.
And once again, Tarasenko knows that spot to shoot, right? So you go 18 inches stick side, and here it was earlier. He just didn't get it quite high enough, not as high as Kucherov, and then you go back to that pre-tournament game in Pittsburgh. Same sort of shot, just missing it. So that is something to look for in the third period.
Elliot, hold on to your news on Jacob Trouba and Matt Murray. Let's go down to Scott Oak with Mark-Edward Vlasic. Scott.
Mark-Edward, tell me what you were thinking for the better part of the second period as you had Bobrovsky under siege and they took the lead on 2 goals and 5 shots.
Well, he's playing well. He's playing well this tournament. We got to keep getting pucks to the net. We did that. We got the second one.
All right, Team Canada's World Cup hopes now come down to the third period, or maybe even beyond. How would you describe the challenge you face?
We're excited for the challenge. It's never easy. We're facing a really good team, so we have to have a good third period.
Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Scott's son Darcy coming up in the intermission to the news of the day.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, it's been rumored for a while now that Jacob Trouba wanted to trade out of Winnipeg, and today it became official. His agent, Kurt Overhart, released a statement saying that they asked to do it in May. I spoke to Trouba tonight. I said to him, there have been rumors that you never wanted to stay there. He said, it's got nothing to do with the city or the team. I want to play right shot D, top 4, and with Buffalo and Myers, the road is blocked, he feels, Ron.
Is Hamonic, did you talk to him, Travis Hamonic?
He's rescinded his trade request. He's staying in New York.
Yeah, but I hope Trouba was paying attention to that request, because those trades are not easy to make anymore.
The Jets did release a statement tonight, and interestingly, Ron, they said he's still part of our long-term future, and what we will do is the best for ourselves.
7 seconds for Matt Murray.
3 to 6 weeks, the Penguins say.
That's terrific. All right, a short break. Illusionist Darcy Oak was in town today over at the Scotiabank Fan Village. We'll check in at the Rogers Fan Hub with Tara Sloan, host of Rogers Hometown Hockey. Darcy and Tara on the other side of the break.
That delivers world-class performance all around the globe. Goodyear, more driven. Russia's Ivan Telegan has become a story in the World Cup. Had a couple of big shot blocks, scored a goal, and set up the 2-1 goal here tonight. He was drafted by the Jets organization in 2010. 2013, refused to report to St. John's of the American League, went back to Russia, apparently missed the entire season with a concussion. Officially, he's been on loan from the Jets to CSKA in Moscow. He's only 24, but he's still on the Jets' radar because they qualified him in the offseason, Jim.
Been very prominent in the game tonight again. Third period just underway, 10 seconds in, a 2-2 tie. It has been a different night for the Russians with 11 forwards dressed instead of 12. They've double shifted centers and it paid off. That was Kuznetsov double shifting when he scored the goal that made it 2-1. Oleg Znarok former forward in the German league, is the coach. Jonathan Toews won the faceoff. Shea Weber, Marc-Edouard Vlasic passed the puck into the middle of the ice. And Logan Couture couldn't get a good shot away. Vladimir Tarasenko. Dmitry Kulikov to center with the shoot-in. Vlasic is back, he and Weber. Couture, Corey Perry, Jonathan Toews up front. And now Canada makes its first change of period number 3. NHL rules in this tournament. If it's tied after 3, it's overtime until somebody scores, just like the playoffs. Drew Doughty. Jay Bouwmeester. Up the middle, here's Bergeron to the front of the net. What a save! Brad Marchand going to the net, and Bobrovsky just robbed him.
Well, when you're dialed in as a goaltender, I'm sure Kelly Rudy would say you just anticipate where everything's going and watch him track the puck here. He moves early. He knows that he's got a righty coming in, and this is just one heck of a play. Right-handed shot by Bergeron. He's got his eyes there the entire time, and the lefty gets just a piece of the backhand there, and what a save. That might be a game saver for Russia.
Bergeron just won the face-off. Crosby's line on the ice, turned back. Doughty's back for the puck. Watched by Nemesnikov. Made a quick turn, up the boards. Bergeron out to center. Crosby with some speed. Drop pass, here's Marchand. Shoots, he scores! Brad Marchand has a pair from Sidney Crosby. 3-2 Canada.
Drew Doughty makes the play in his own zone. Tender clean.
Even in Vancouver, they'll be cheering for that Marchand goal. From Crosby and Bergeron. Here comes Canada again. Stamkos with a centering pass. Evgeny Malkin. Artemi Panarin returns the pass. Malkin check by Ryan Getzlaf, and Getzlaf's going to get a penalty.
He's going to get a slash to the hands of Malkin. Credit the Russians. It's a good shift. Get back going the other way, and big bodies, 2 of them together, just right on the thumb, and it knocked the puck off. Had that not knocked the puck off, might have been tougher for the official to see it. But here it is, coming right into your wheelhouse, the goal.
What a huge power play. The Russians have yet to score a power play goal in the tournament, but they get a huge one here. This power play is brought to you by the efficient power of Ram's 35-mile-per-gallon Eco Diesel engine.
What do you think, Jim? Will they go back with that earlier formation with Ovechkin in the slot? They never really got much of a setup here. Let's see if they revert back to the way they've done before.
Set up the shot for Ovechkin, who hasn't had a shot yet, but this Russian team being outplayed, a lot of players who only need one shot. Marchand killing the penalty with Bergeron. Now Marchand changes. Artemi Panarin slowly to center. Malkin checked from behind by Bergeron. To Doughty. To the open side. Toews is there. Couldn't get the puck. Now the Russians are set up in the attacking zone. Nikolai Kulemin had the puck knocked off his stick by Bergeron to Doughty, and he clears it.
The aggressive penalty killing is really giving the Russians trouble. If it's their entry and not being able to easily gain the zone or even in the zone, a lot of good coordinated pressure by the penalty killers.
Canadians have killed all 12 penalties they've taken in this tournament. Malkin with his reach got in and got the puck. Tarasenko to the blue line. Orlov, one-timer by Markov. That was blocked by Toews. Toews onto the puck. Markov got it away to the front of the net. Price had to kick out a bouncer. Jonathan Toews races after the puck as it was cleared down the ice. Vlasic is up to join him. Now he bails out defensively as Toews goes down, gets back up, kills some valuable time, and the penalty to Ryan Getzlaf. There's Netsov into the middle. Tarasenko forced to his backhand. Doughty with a great stick took the puck away from him. Marchand back to help out. Tarasenko knocked the puck loose. Ryan O'Reilly. Marchand is away to center, and the puck is sent down the ice, and that'll just about do it. There'll be one last Russian rush.
Now the value of communication there. O'Reilly didn't panic because he got lots of communication from Doughty in the corner that he had time.
Dmitry Orlov quickly in over the blue line, snapped the shot, just missed the net. Getzlaf standing, set to come back home. Penalty is over. Getzlaf at center ice. Bergeron trying to feed him the puck. Had it deflect off his stick into Bobrovsky, and he covers up.
Well, the penalty killing so far, you focus on the defense collapsing back, and Vlasic does an excellent job. It's in play, a bouncing puck that gets past his partner Weber, but right on the doorstep. And so often you see with star players, just their presence in a certain area can be a distraction. And I can't help but think, watching that, as Sidney Crosby flying through and a little bit of a gap on the defenseman had to bother Bobrovsky a bit.
Pietrangelo off a draw, won by Sidney Crosby. Puck's thrown at the net by Brent Burns and came all the way back to center. Pietrangelo is there. Burns shoots the puck in. Thornton is there. So is Duchesne. And Sidney Crosby getting a little extra ice time, and he lost the puck. Dadonov trying to get to the net. Great reach by Burns to stop that rush. Burns again to center. Little backhand dish, Matt Duchesne flying, cut in. Yemelin wouldn't let him get by. On the boards, the puck is held in by Jay Bomeister. Outside on Marchenko. Artemi Panarin. Evgeny Dadonov plays the puck back into his own zone as Canada changes. Panarin has some time to skate to center. On his own, into the attacking zone. Now Kuhlman comes up. Malkin as well to the blue line. Orlov fires a shot up high off the glass. Zaitsev on the other side can't hold the puck in at the line. Dmitry Orlov snaps a pass up the right wing. Panarin is checked by Bomeister. Doughty with the puck to Bomeister and out to John Tavares. He defers to Ryan Getzlaf. Getzlaf has Stamkos in front, and that's just out of his reach. Kicked aside by Bobrovsky. Shea Weber stands up in the neutral zone and gets the puck back for Canada. Marc-Edouard Vlasic to Shea Weber. Hard pass at center, breezed by a couple of players and goes for icing against Canada.
One of the most difficult things to teach defensemen is to have patience. Keep your legs moving, don't get sucked in by the puck. What a great example here. A turnover by Crosby right into your living room. But calmly, Burns doesn't overreact. He keeps his legs moving, didn't fall for any of the movements of the Russians going forward, and just calmly put that one away. Good defensive effort.
Kuznetsov and Getzlaf in the face-off circle. Ovechkin's on the ice. Russians get the draw but can't keep the puck in at the line. Yemelin now shoots it in. Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Shea Weber up the boards into the middle, and Jonathan Toews, who's been playing against Ovechkin all night and played him to a standstill. All right, breathe, Canada. Breathe, it's 4-2.
We showed you patience, defense. That's a veteran player with a lot of poise, and Toews just watched it on the screen and laughing at what Perry was able to do.
Russians come right back, and Kucherov got a shot that Carey Price made a fine save on. Crosby's line is on the ice. They've scored a couple. Corey Perry's second goal of the tournament. And that's a checking line. Nemesnikov, rink wide, tipped by Brad Marchand, and the puck is out of play. Perry from Couture and Vlasic, who had his shot stopped. Canada with a 2-goal lead in the third period of the semifinal at the World Cup of Hockey. Up 4-2.
Well, to have calm and patience when there's chaos all around you is a real special talent, and that look there just gives you another example of how ice-cold veins there for Perry. No panic, but what a big goal to make this a 2-goal game.
So now an accident's not likely to beat you. Jonathan Toews Didn't get an assist. Made a big play, though, and he's made big plays all night. And he and Couture and Perry have been playing against Ovechkin's line, and Alex Ovechkin doesn't even have an attempt on net tonight. Nikita Zaitsev, Dmitry Orlov, Nikolai Kulemin and in. Drew Doughty's back. Malkin's right on him. Jonathan Toews played 46 games in a Team Canada sweater, and he's won 44 of them. Thornton was in a battle there. Dadonov up the boards. Weber won't let the puck out. His shot. There was a rebound there, and reaching for it was Thornton. Couldn't get it. Orlov. Tracked down again. Duchesne has the puck. Looking for some help. Weber leans into one. Big save by Bobrovsky and a huge rebound on Shea Weber's A shot. Here's Ivan Telegin, gets the puck deep for the Russians. Artem Anisimov up the boards. Markov fanned on a shot, so the Canadians have the puck. Nifty backhand play, gets left to John Tavares. Here comes Stamkos to join them. That is right behind him, gets left. Tavares, backhander, Bobrovsky to save. And this line has been all over the Russians and just can't break through tonight.
Yeah, you got to feel for them that they've got to get a little frustrated. But on the heels of a turnover, Duchesne with the curl up and walking into a bomb like you've seen so often. Bobrovsky able to hold that one. Tavares a handful down low. And Getzlaf and he with a little bit of chemistry there. And once again on the doorstep, Stamkos was there for a rebound. There just wasn't one.
Picking up where they left off. The shots on this third period are 11-2 Canada. They have 44 for the game. Carey Price kicks the puck aside.
There's Ovechkin's first, Jim. 12 minutes left in the third.
Out here with Kuznetsov and Tarasenko. Ovechkin ran into Bergeron, went down in the neutral zone. Here's Brad Marchand. 2 goals, Crosby. A goal and 2 assists. Bergeron's in front of the net. Marchenko's trying to save with Crosby, and his pass eludes Alex Pietrangelo and goes all the way back down to Carey Price. Jay Bouwmeester to center. Couture chips the puck in. Guess he didn't get it. It's an icing call against Canada.
Well, you watch now as the Russians need some desperation. Just continue to try to get their offensive game going. They've been selective, been outshot 2-1, but right now with that 2-goal lead, the importance of that 4th goal is just immense in a game like this. It's such a difference maker, and let's see what the shuffling of the lines will look like here with 11 minutes to go in elimination game.
Malkin won the draw. Zaitsev. Kucherov shot. Snagged by Carey Price. That's just 19. He's had long periods of time without much work. But he made a big save.
You see Jonathan Toews talking with Kelly Sutherland there, feeling, hey, I got interfered with. Okay, lost the draw. Your job then is to stay with the centerman. And there's the little hook by Malkin. And boy, had that puck been available, Malkin might have had a rebound, Jim, by himself.
Malkin doesn't win a lot of faceoffs, but he's pretty good on his forehand. And Toews knew that and stopped him this time and won the draw. Orlov pinched in, held the puck in. Nemesnikov. Kucherov got bumped. Nemesnikov over for the puck. Here's Malkin. Nobody in front now. Nemesnikov heads for the front of the net. Malkin. Kucherov. Orlov shoots. Price absorbs that.
Well, right on cue. He said the Russians have to get a little more desperation into their game. They do. They win some battles down low, try to get traffic in front. Watch Malkin, though. He's standing at the side, and that gives some vision there for Carey Price. Orlov trying to get a rebound, but Price able to see it, able to hold on and find where the rebound was.
Anisimov and Getzlaf in the face-off circle. Jumping ahead is Panarin. He couldn't get a hold of the puck. Getzlaf's got it. A 3-on-2 to center. Tavares on the left wing. Stamkos to the net. Tavares hangs on, shoots. He scores! finally, for a line that's been all over the net all night long, John Tavares makes it 5-2 Canada.
And it comes from the defensive zone. Getzlaf wins the draw. Vlasic chips it up to him. It's speed through the middle. Tavares goes to the net. Getzlaf with a screen. And you saw the vision there of Bobrovsky. There was none. No chance at all with this patient curl and drag and a perfect shot because Getzlaf was right in the wheelhouse of the goaltender. Great view from Wes McCauley. And look at the reaction of Bobrovsky. Never even saw it. Watched it as it goes up and over his glove.
Oleg Znarak with his assistant trying to use Alex Ovechkin as an interpreter here. I wonder if they thought there was maybe some goaltender interference. And they do have a coach's challenge here.
Yeah, two things you could look at is either the goaltender interference didn't look like they were close enough to him there, but maybe looking at an offside, Jim, there was one of those plays where I have to take a couple of looks at it because nobody made contact with Bobrovsky.
Getzlaf and Vlasic get assists on John Tavares' first goal of the tournament at 9:22, and he's had a great tournament for a guy who's now just got one goal. And a 3-goal Canada lead. 45-20 are the shots now in favor of Canada. Corey Perry just center it into the attacking zone. Tavares, Taves drives the net. And back the other way, here's Ovechkin. Hasn't been able to get anything going all night because this Taves line has had the puck all the time. Dadonov. Kuznetsov with a shoot-in. Price steers that to the corner.
So I think everybody always looks to see, okay, what will happen when Canada gets pushed? You know, you get some easy games early on.
Oh, we just saw it.
What a third period. The tying goal, the go in even going into the third, but then just turn it up when you need to make a difference.
Dadonov with a pass. Too hot to handle for Zaitsev as the defensemen are really jumping up now for the Russians. They have to. Evgeny Malkin turned it up on his last shift. Was a pretty good one. He's chased back into his own zone, but he hasn't had what you would call a great tournament by any stretch. Nikita Kucherov, pinpoint pass, Nemesnikov to Anisimov. And the Canadians stop the Russian. Back they come with numbers 3-on-2 again. Sidney Crosby out of the reach of Brad Marchand. Bergeron in support. Yemelin chased by Marchand, who fell. Yemelin fell and he sent the puck down the ice. Pietrangelo tipped it to center, Anisimov. Marchenko to Dmitry Kulikov and back. Brent Burns deep in his own zone. Steven Stamkos to John Tavares, couldn't handle the puck. Kulikov with a shot, Price with an easy save. That was a pass trying to spring Tavares at center from Getzlaf, didn't work. Artemi Panarin. Now the Canadians just into munching away at the minutes in this game. Kuznetsov, Kulikov, his shot is blocked fearlessly by Getzlaf, and the puck ricocheted to center. Knocked out of the air by a high stick, and play is stopped. 2-2 tie into the third period. Brad Marchand with his third, Corey Perry with his second, John Tavares. 12:30 Eastern, the team with no past and no future. Team Europe against Sweden. And of those three will be watching anxiously. Nick Lidstrom, Daniel Alfredsson, Matt Sundin.
That's quite a past of Team Sweden, really isn't it? And sitting in that box there.
A lot of games, a lot of goals, a lot of great hockey. That'll be a fun game tomorrow. This has been a very tense one. Canada's been great. They finally broke through in the third period. Since falling behind 2-1, they've scored 4 straight and are up 5-2. And now try and finish the Russians off and make sure there's no accidents in a big comeback. Artemi Panarin with a shot, and Price makes a save. Zaitsev fires a shot, Price makes another save. Corey Perry. Logan Couture and in. Methodically, Canada will change short shifts again as they work the clock. forechecking, a stretch pass to center. Vlasic deep through the puck back out. Nestorov into the Canadian zone. Marked with Vlasic. Brad Marchand. And the puck is safely out to center. Sidney Crosby has it. Bergeron. Marchand drives the net. The pass for him hit a stick. Dadonov up the board. Shea Weber stops the puck. Back in for Sidney Crosby. Marchand turns to his forehand to the side of the net. The puck is loose. Bergeron's there trying to will it into the back of the net. That was just about knocked off. It's stabilized. Tellegen comes over and throws a hit at Shea Weber, but the puck stays inside the line. Yemelin can't get it out. On a change, Tavares off the bench kept it in. Alexei Yemelin. Getzlaf slowed him up. Nikita Nestorov. Nemesnikov tips the puck in. Pietrangelo is back. Brent Burns to center. Tavares against Kulikov. Kucherov to center. Burns has the puck under pressure from Kuznetsov. A little slash from Kuznetsov.
What a luxury when you're trying to bring a game home. Most coaches in the NHL, you've got either a third pairing that you're trying to hide a little bit, or a third or a fourth line that you're not so sure about. And for Mike Babcock, there's just, you've got strength all over the ice.
No line that you put on and have to hold your breath. But there was a lot of holding of breaths earlier here when it was 2-2, when it was 2-1 for Russia, but now it's 5-2 Canada at the World Cup. Well, it was a bit of a nervous game there for a while. I don't think it is now with 5.5 minutes to go. And as you pointed out, the reason for the nervousness is because Russia has so many one-shot scores that could have changed the game with, you know, even though they've only got 24 shots.
Yeah, it's not like in Sochi, you said, the Latvia game where you might have a chance to lose. There's one shot that can make a difference. I think when you look at game 2 against the Americans, down 1-0, 2 goals in 14 seconds to end that game. Here, they get down 2-1. It's a nervous crowd, and a minute 12 later, they're able to tie it up. That, to me, is that quick answer that you need to settle everybody into their game.
Corey Perry with a shot. He has one of the 4 consecutive goals that Canada has scored. Malkin and Ovechkin playing on the same line now with Tarasenko in the late going. And now the change is underway. 5 minutes to go in the third period. A steal. Marchand from Kuznetsov. Centering pass didn't get through. Orlov made a good defensive play. Kucherov turns at center. And he ran into Jay Bouwmeester. Kuznetsov in on Bouwmeester. What a back check. Right there was Marchand when Bouwmeester made his defensive play. Marchand was in his hip pocket. And an icing call against Canada with 4:38 left in the third.
They get that all-important goal a minute 12 after Russia went up. And then to start the third period, just Brad Marchand, you question whether he's on this team? I don't think so. Corey Perry wasn't even invited. He's a late addition. That one, a big one. And John Tavares with even more insurance going forward. A great individual effort and wonderful shot. But Brad Marchand has really answered the critics, hasn't he? What a line this has been with Crosby, Bergeron, and he.
Together since day one, even before that. Because
yeah, before
Babcock
day one.
decided in the summer that that was going to be a line, and he never had to deviate. Another icing call for John Tavares, a huge goal when you consider he couldn't play at the Olympics. He got hurt in the first game, had to sit and watch as his team rolled over everyone and won the gold medal, and then gets a chance to play on home ice at the highest level here.
Yeah, and strategically, I love the fact that Team Canada has always gone after, the most talented players, but lots of centermen, and not be afraid to put them in a position of playing wing. I think that has really paid dividends. Anybody goes down, you can rotate anyone through, and it's an easier transition going from center to wing.
And on a nightly basis, 8 or 9 different forwards take face-offs.
Exactly. Somebody's always going to have a good night or a bad night. You got lots of different options.
Dominated that part of the game tonight as well. Nestorov with a shot from the blue line. Kucherov trying to get the rebound. All of Canada had collapsed to the front of the net and cleared the puck away. And the clock ticks down to 4 minutes. Nestorov threw the puck in front. Carey Price has had his busiest time here in the third period. very much equal to the task.
Jim, I think we talked about Ovechkin and the pressure that was on him for Russia. How about Sidney Crosby? I mean, we've had success with Crosby at the helm, but once again, in a one-game elimination coming through, he has set the tone. He set the tone with the tournament's first goal for Canada, and he set the tone tonight with a 1 goal to begin it and 3-point night again.
Kulemin, oops, tripped and fell. The Russians keep the puck in. Here's Artem Anisimov. Artemi Panarin. Nikita Zaitsev. Orlov takes a wrist shot. Price saw it all the way and made the save. Panarin. Orlov, the defenseman, in deep, taking a chance. Anisimov passes the puck back to him. Watched by Steven Stamkos. Vlasic. Getzlaf up the boards. Orlov holds the puck in. Zaitsev, hard pass into the corner. Panarin gets the puck into the slot. Anisimov took a shot, and that went off a skate. Steven Stamkos clears the puck. And the Canadians have this down to under 3 minutes to go in the third period. Tarasenko with a shot. Price for the save. That's a dozen shots for the Russians in the third period. Perry at center. Jonathan Toews, another great night of penalty killing and on the power play. And as the checking center to play against Russia's top line. Brent Burns with a shot tipped off the post by Toews. That would have been just reward.
Jim, like so many nights, you mentioned Jonathan Toews, all the work he's done, but yeah, you're off the scoreboard in terms of points, but not in terms of impact in the game.
But the guy he's played against all night, Alexander Ovechkin, doesn't get a sniff all night. An icing call with 2:03 left in the third period in Canada.
And even that, he's arguing that icing shouldn't have been an icing. With a heads-up play, though. Burns with the shot. This is just so close. He beats Marchenko to the front of the net, frustrated that it didn't go in, but another solid night.
Talk about staying in the game. 2 minutes and 3 seconds left in a 3-goal game, and he's all over the linesman for what he thought was a bad call.
And interesting, I thought for maybe a second Mike Babcock called his timeout to try to give his guys rest. Instead, the Russians going, we need a goal right now, so let's take this offensive zone face-off and try to draw something up.
Well, Sidney Crosby's had a great night again in leading Team Canada, and let's look back on it.
I just think knowing the importance of the game, you got to get off to a good start, and it's all over the net. He's able to turn pucks over on the game's first goal, not once but twice, and give his team the confidence you need, but it's the complete game. Always around the puck, always hounding it, those quick plays around that are so difficult to defend against. And he and his line have been the catalyst that turned this game in favor of Team Canada.
Babcock, Julian, Quenneville, Barry Trotz, the best coaches in the National Hockey League, all behind the Canadian bench and still working with 2:03 to go and a 3-goal game. Bobrovsky's on the bench for the extra attacker. 6 Russians inside the blue line, needing a miracle comeback. Bergeron came in and won the draw. 3 Russians in the corner. Crosby battles the puck loose. Pietrangelo manages to clear it. Not enough for icing. Malkin is back. Bergeron after Anisimov. Nikita Kucherov. And Artemi Panarin passes to the wing. Anisimov. Panarin looking for Ovechkin. He lost the puck in his feet. On the other side, Kucherov. Malkin. Kucherov again, rink wide for Artemi Panarin. An icing call against Canada, 1:07 to go in the third period. And the game, our play of the game, brought to you tonight by the new Advil 12-Hour.
Well, with the game still very much in play, a 3-2 game became a 4-2 through the legs, back the other side, and up and over the pad of goaltender Bobrovsky.
World Cup best of 3 final begins on Tuesday night. And Canada will play the Swedes or Team Europe. Russia's just about finished. 56 seconds to go as Price, who's had his best period here in the third, is very close to winning a 14th consecutive game in a Team Canada uniform.
And you almost feel getting 2 goals is a moral victory. And the one thing he doesn't give up as many goals in those games. And so the fact that Russia was able to take a 2-1 lead for a split second, thought, okay, is this lucky 13 or unlucky 13? And it looks like it's going to make it through okay.
Well, a face-off win for Sidney Crosby and a tip by Bergeron down the ice. And another icing call. 48 seconds remain.
Well, the answers still will come towards the Russian Federation, their frustration of not being able to win the best on best.
Great forwards. Do you think they need to develop some more
defense? Their defense is not even close to the level. As I said, Orlov playing on your #1 pair wouldn't happen in the NHL. He didn't play in the Penguin series.
There's a deflection in front that went behind Carey Price and out the other side. A steal. Brad Marchand for the hat trick. Missed the net. He's after the puck though, and he got to it first. Ovechkin slams him up against the boards. Marchand steals the puck, passes off. Bergeron blocked by Malkin. And Bergeron wanted to get the puck to Marchand, and he couldn't quite do it. Back come the Russians with 15 seconds to go. And the Russians slam one into the back of the net.
It shouldn't be a goal, and it won't be, Jim. It was a hand pass going to it. The linesman just went to call.
And the clock continued to run even though the puck had been into the back of the net. So they'll have to sort this out, put a few seconds back on. It'll still be 5-2.
Watch the play right here. There's your hand pass. Did it get controlled? Nope. And then off the post and in. This should have been blown dead. The question was, did any of the officials see it or actually blow it dead? Kucherov with his hand there to Kulemin, and he's the first one to touch it. So this should be blown dead, but it might not have been caught.
You see him move his right hand and arm towards the puck. Immaterial in the outcome of the game. They've added some time to the clock. Wes McCauley is still over at the timekeeper's bench having a look.
So to try to save it, because the hand pass isn't the reviewable part, but you could say maybe you got goaltender interference. And if I'm Mike Babcock, try to save Carey Price the extra goal by questioning that. Look behind him as Anisimov ends up getting behind him.
Well, this would be most interesting if it was a 1-goal game, or if that would have tied things up.
You see Claude Julien hand pass. Come on. It is a moot point, except for now all of a sudden Price has given up 3,
yeah.
And Team Canada doesn't like doing that either.
They'll give them the goal. 5-3 game. Drop the puck. Everyone in red standing. It's now Canada. That's the big red machine. Canada on home ice will play in the World Cup of Hockey best of 3 final against the winner of Sweden and Team Europe. They play tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 12:30 on CBC and Sportsnet 1 to show you that game and find out which team Canada will play.
I think they're not quite sure whether we should be shaking hands or not. I think Ryan Getzlaf just said, might as well, in sportsmanship, like you see at the end of a playoff round, this one-game elimination went Canada's way. And Jim, another great example of everybody contributing. The old adage that they use of everybody pulling on the rope. This was another fine example of how true that is with Team Canada right now.
Very deep, they're very confident, unfazed by the fact that they fell behind 2-1. They got it tied up in 1 minute and 12 seconds, and then 3 goals in the third period. And on home ice, Team Canada will play for the World Cup. 47-34 were the final shots on goal. Bobrovsky was excellent, and he was the Russians' best player in this tournament. Couldn't hold off Canada all night. A salute from Team Canada after a win, but they're coming back to play in the final. And the 3 stars brought to you by Molson Canadian. Brad Marchand, 2 goals, almost got his third. Sidney Crosby with a wonderful night as captain Canada. And the third member of that forward line, Patrice Bergeron, is our 3rd star. Some nervous moments tonight. Canada fell behind, but defeated the Russians 5-3. Here's Ron and Don.